Protection Services staff, safety officers, and marshals will assist with the evacuation.
Assist people with disabilities.
Do not use lifts at any time during the evacuation.
Report any person injured or trapped to Protection Services.
Stay at the assembly point till instructed to leave.
UJ Management wishes you a safe stay at UJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chancellor of the University of Johannesburg welcomes you to this graduation ceremony. Due to security reasons, you are requested not to leave the auditorium before the end of the proceedings. Please note that photos and videos must be taken from your seats. Please do not get up and walk around inside the auditorium. As soon as the procession leaves the auditorium, you are requested to rise and remain standing until the procession and guests of honour have left the auditorium. A kind yet important request. Please only applaud after the student's name has been read out, and only applaud until the student has been capped, in order to give other graduates the opportunity to have an audible readout of their names. Please also note that no whistles are allowed for applause. Only clapping of hands and ululating. A final request. If you have a cell phone in your possession, please switch it off or put it on silent. Ladies and gentlemen, the procession will now enter the auditorium. You are requested to rise and remain standing until the members of the procession have taken their seats.
Gaudiamo singitur, Juvenestum sumus. Gaudiamo singitur, Juvenestum sumus. Post secundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus. Vivant academia, vivant professores, vivant academia, vivant professores, vivant membrum quodlibet, vivant membrum quodlibet, sempre sit in flore, sempre sit in flore.
Good morning, Sonebonani Dumelang. Let us do better this morning. Good morning, good morning. This is a celebration. By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now constitute this meeting as a lawful congregation of the University of Johannesburg. Please be seated.
Ya bosopai supila masupatila, o moritile ditilela. Ya bosopai supila masupatila, na disafela karibusa, na disafela karibuseta murau. Na disafela karibusa, na disafela karibuseta murau. Halala, 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 halala. Homu na karibu seta morao. Homu na karibu seta morao. Halala, 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 halala.
Good morning. Dumelang. Sanibonani. Goeiemorgen. Chancellor, Prof. Bongani Nkulunga, Council members, Executive Dean, Prof. Baso Nzenze, Faculty of Humanities, members of Senate and academics, graduates, guests. On behalf of the Council, the Executive Leadership Group, and the staff of the University of Johannesburg, I welcome all our graduates and guests to this graduation ceremony. Today is a momentous occasion for you and your loved ones. Graduations symbolize both endings and beginnings, reminding us of our past and our dreams for the future. Graduates, your achievement is worthy of celebration, regardless of where you are or what the future holds for you. Our Chancellor, Dr. Phumzile Mlambo Ngcuka, has on various occasions reflected on the transformative power of education in creating opportunities, in advancing gender equality, and in furthering societal development. In the context of our nation, your accomplishment carries considerable weight. Many of you are first-generation graduates, making this achievement even more significant. Your graduation represents the dreams of many, including those who supported you. It symbolizes hope for a new generation. The University of Johannesburg, established in 2005 as part of the post-apartheid transformation of South Africa's higher education landscape, has rapidly emerged as a beacon of academic excellence and innovation. In just 2 decades, our university has achieved remarkable milestones, including securing prominent positions in global university rankings, a testament to its commitment to quality education and research. With an unwavering focus on shaping a better future, UJ has adopted its Strategic Plan 2035, which emphasizes societal impact and the integration of technologies for the future. This visionary approach underscores the university's dedication to driving sustainable development and equipping graduates to thrive in a rapidly evolving world. Amid today's celebrations, remember that you are among the fortunate few to have had this opportunity. Your graduation, therefore, carries the promise that you will share your knowledge to enrich and deepen our democracy. It serves as a reminder of our nation's shortcomings and provides us with the tools to address these shortcomings for the betterment of society. Our university has been leading in the field of digital transformation. UJ was the first South African university to award certificates secured by blockchain technology. Graduates, you also have access to our digital certificate system, where you can download your digital certificate free of charge. The system further gives you access to a personalized digital badge, which you can place on LinkedIn to securely showcase your achievement. We also welcome you as a new member of our global alumni community. On the Alumni Connect platform, you can connect with other graduates, view employment offerings, and connect with possible mentors. In closing, as the African proverb goes, wealth, if you use it, comes to an end. Learning, if you use it, increases. So we congratulate all our graduates on this wonderful achievement, and let's give them a warm round of applause. We look forward to cheering you on and along as you explore new paths and vistas. I thank you. Ria leboga, siyabonga, baie dankie. Chancellor, I now request the Executive Dean, Prof. Nzenze, to introduce the Faculty of Humanities and thereafter the candidates who complied with all the requirements for the respective qualifications.
Chancellor, I have the honor of introducing the Faculty of Humanities. I would like to welcome all our guests, graduating students, parents, family members, friends, and fellow academics. The Faculty of Humanities is excited to begin the second semester of the 2025 academic year. This year marks, as the Vice-Chancellor has said, the university's 20th anniversary, and the Faculty of Humanities has much to celebrate within that broader UJ story. Over the past 2 decades, humanities at UJ has strengthened its scholarship, engaged in curriculum transformation, produced impactful and noteworthy books and publications, and built more international partnerships and opportunities for students than ever before. Our staff have won national and international awards in teaching, research, and community engagement. We've been at the forefront of public intellectual work and change management. Today, 81% of our academic staff hold doctoral degrees, and all are specialists in their fields of teaching. It is therefore in this vibrant space that we challenge our students to strive for excellence. Here we encourage not just personal accolades, but achievements that are societally focused and that are intended to contribute to national objectives. We impress upon our students the need to recognize societal complexities and to nurture the skills and mindset to make a difference in society and the world of work. Our programs, both at undergraduate and at postgraduate, guide our students to become reflective, socially aware, and independent thinkers. Over the 2025 enrollment period, a total of 6,567 students were registered in our faculty. Many of our students take opportunities to do more than their mainstream courses, however. They complete, among others, short courses on artificial intelligence, African insights, sustainable development goals, and financial literacy. All our postgraduates have been exposed to research methodologies and research writing which will help them in their future work, probing the social, political, and economic issues and crises that mark the world today. Our faculty has 13 departments, 2 NRF South African research chairs, 10 research centers, and 2 research institutes. The subjects we teach are broadly within 4 clusters. These are the humanities, the social sciences, the communication sciences, and languages. We're confident, therefore, that our graduates have acquired relevant skills and knowledge to become effective leaders in the rapidly changing workplaces of the world, and can take on one of many careers that involve working with people. We're proud this year to be part of awarding several honorary doctorates to illustrious scholars, outstanding citizens, and social and political change agents who all embody the true spirit of the humanities and encouraging us to think constructively and humanely, and to be brave, resilient, and proactive in driving transformative interventions in our society and beyond. They serve as role models for all of us who want to see a great University of Johannesburg, a great South Africa, and a great African continent. With these remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I conclude by warmly congratulating our graduates of 2025 and add that we hope that your time with us at UJ has inspired you to strive for a better life and a better world, one that is compassionate, socially just, ethical, peaceful, and highly productive. I thank you. Ke a leboga, ke a bonga. Bye, thank you. Chancellor, I now introduce to you the candidates who complied with all the requirements for the respective qualifications in order for you to confer or award such qualifications.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I will now confer and award the respective qualifications on the candidates introduced to me by the Executive Dean, and to the candidates who are absent, but who have complied with all of the requirements for the qualifications.
Chancellor, I'm honored to request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Arts on the following candidates. Iman Ali. Joel Arrington. Lydia Dempsey Bebore. Bukamuso Newo Balatseng. Kama Violetu Buzani. Mbali Bridget Dladla. Jaden Ellis. Yasmin Gourd. Cherise Maxine Gibbs. Koesha Govender. Ngobile Takondwa Juma. Naomi Kazembe. Kapsile Kanyile. Makhosazana Princess Kupega. Sesihle Lunywanzi. Lunywanzi. Tandazo Hope Makagula. Jabulani Tapiwa Dean Mahlaba. Nkosikhona Kevin Mahlangu. Aphelele Manyana. Sekwanele Nonkumbulo Manzini. Letabo Maraba. Matabo Marupeng. Minenhle Tevin Njabulo Masuku. Thomas Lee Matonzi. Philile Lindiwe Rosemary Mazibuko. Nombuso Zinhle Mbatha. Katlego Mampe Anna Mudiba. Machi Khumucho Mudiba. Tsepang Samuel Mudigo. Minentle Mukhagi. Neo Faith Mukhale. Tsepiso Mukhale with distinction. Mohammed Sharif Mohammed. Pamelo Mary Jane Munyamani. Rilisejo Khali Cheche Mutebele. Nontogozo Senamile Mthethwa. Xolile Princess Ngema. Banele Nibe. Bunolo Sandra Nowata. Wendile Mercy Ngumalo. Ayabulela Sikweza. Reneilwe Litlotlo Tlapi with distinction. Nombasa Choko. Mpilontle Zulu. Chancellor, I'm honored to request you to confer the degree Master of Arts on the following candidates. Frederick Ajay with distinction. Pumelele Dlamini. Sbusiso Percy Kumalo with distinction. Lindelwa Amande Lande. Amanda bint Farouk Mohammed. Eustace Bongani Majola. Ololade Rebecca Dawodu. Ntombikaise Masego. Lindokuhle Mchunu with distinction. Sean Libuani Mwebeleni with distinction. Karabo Berrington Namanyana with distinction. Lungile Ngubane. Linda Kwanda Ngwenya with distinction. Akona Baliso with distinction. Ivan Ralobuvi. Nonjabulo Busisiwe Sibiya. Pumzile Sibiya. Limani Happiness Tony with distinction. Abraham Jacobus Fisser with distinction. Francis Zvigo with distinction. Chancellor, I am honored to request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on the following candidates. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Simo Isaac Bothman, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Afrikaans with a thesis entitled "A onderzoek na die verband tussen Afrikaans moedertaalloderig en schoolprestatie in de Weskap, an investigation into the relation between Afrikaans mother tongue education and school performance in the Western Cape." Prepared under the supervision of Dr. D.L. Lawrence and the co-supervision of Prof. M. Pinar, I now request the co-supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
Seymour Botman's thesis focuses on the reasons why mother tongue speakers of Afrikaans at historically disadvantaged school communities struggle to achieve academic success. The aim is to determine the relationship between mother tongue education and other factors influencing learner performance. The thesis addresses the fundamental issues at different levels. It investigates not only the academic implications, but also the social implications for the South African education system. The most important reasons for the poor performance of learners includes a lack of reading comprehension, lack of teamwork, a low morale amongst teachers, overcrowded classrooms, late submissions, poor quality of assessment papers, and frequent tardiness. The most important contribution of this research is the insight into the interplay between mother tongue education and relevant contextual factors that impact on successful learning and teaching.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Afrikaans on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Afrikaans on Seymour Isaac Portman. Congratulations, Dr. Portman. Congratulations.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Tsitsi Zashe Vute, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Biblical and Christian Studies with a thesis entitled Political Economy of Pentecostalism in Zimbabwe, the Case of Cross-Border Traders, prepared under the supervision of Prof. E.A. Hankela and the co-supervision of Prof. K.M. from UP. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
Tsitsidas Vute's doctoral thesis investigates the relationship between African Pentecostalism and cross-border trading in Zimbabwe, particularly in the context of the country's ongoing political and economic crisis. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this hybrid ethnographic study included online as well as limited in-person engagement with research participants. 66 qualitative interviews with 22 participants formed the main set of data that was analyzed using selected techniques from grounded theory. The thesis argues that, through the lens of prosperity theology, African Pentecostal churches in Zimbabwe empower cross-border traders to perceive themselves as middle class. This perception fosters resilience and coping mechanisms amidst economic instability, often necessitating morally ambiguous activities. In this context, African Pentecostalism plays a crucial role in shaping the identities and survival strategies of cross-border traders. The research contributes to a more comprehensive understanding of the complex interplay between religion, economic survival, and identity formation in challenging political and economic environments.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Biblical and Christian Studies on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Biblical and Christian Studies on Tsitsizache Vute. Congratulations, Dr. Vute. Congratulations.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting George Frederick de Bruyn, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics with a thesis entitled Towards Improved Patient-Centered Medicine Information Leaflets in South Africa Through Plain Language, prepared under the supervision of Prof. E. Cornelius and the co-supervision of Prof. T. McCormick. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
The study examines the effectiveness of patient information leaflets, pills for non-expert readers, highlighting how outdated legal frameworks hinder effective health communication. Many readers lack the linguistic and cognitive skills to navigate the dense content and the complex language typically used in patient information leaflets. Guided by the discourse historical approach within critical discourse studies, the study strongly hinges on the role of power in communication. Using Wodak and Meyer's 2016 framework, the researcher analysed a specific pill, the well-known Panado leaflet, within its broader social and political context, before turning to textual inconsistencies and weaknesses. Recommendations are made to improve future pills by incorporating plain language and optimal document design. Feedback from non-expert readers shows strong support for the revised version. The study's key contribution is the proposed model for intralingual translations into plain language, aimed at improving the clarity and accessibility of South African medicine brochures.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics on George Frederick Dupré. Congratulations, Dr. Dupré.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Louisa Johanna du Toit, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Biblical and Christian Studies with a thesis entitled The Role of Religion in the Age of Environmental Collapse, an Alternative Dark Green Religion Perspective, prepared under the supervision of Prof. L.V. Graham and the co-supervision of Dr. D.C. Nishimwe. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
The environmental crisis faced by this generation of humans inhabiting the planet Earth is the most significant challenge in human history. The eventual, as yet unknown, outcome of this threat will determine all aspects of human life in future, as well as the lives and future of other inhabitants of the Earth. This research aimed to investigate the ways in which religion and belief systems can be used to confront this crisis from the perspective of a country in the global south, South Africa. The phenomenon of dark green religion was applicable to studying the interface between religion and science and suitable for an interdisciplinary approach. The study concluded that both religious and secular organizations focused mainly on the concepts of stewardship and sustainability as responses towards the current global environmental crisis. Thank you.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Biblical and Christian Studies on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Biblical and Christian Studies on Louisa Johanna du Toit. Congratulations, Dr. du Toit.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Hambeleni Hamunyela, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics with a thesis entitled Intergenerational Heritage Language Transmission, Maintenance, and Family Language Practices, the case of Oshivambo-speaking families in Windhoek, prepared under the supervision of Prof. J. Chikasha and the co-supervision of Prof. J. Ramhari. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
Congratulations. Today, we honor Hembelelani Amunyela for his significant contributions to language maintenance and intergenerational transmission. A study titled Intergenerational Heritage Language Transmission, Maintenance and Language Policies, the case of Oshivambo-speaking families in Windhoek, explores how Oshivambo-speaking families in Windhoek navigate linguistic challenges in an English-dominant urban setting. It brings to the fore the inconsistencies in family language policies and the need for structured and intentional efforts to reinforce heritage language use. By filling a crucial gap in family language policy research in Namibia, the study advances our understanding of language maintenance in African urban context and contributes to global discussions on linguistic diversity. The study offers a new viewpoint on the socio-linguistic implications of urban growth since it explores the nexus between migration, urbanization, and language policy. Its findings are valuable to politicians, to educators, multilingual families, and offers valuable strategies for heritage language preservation in a globalized world. Thank you.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics on Hambeleni Hamunyela. Congratulations, Dr. Hamunyela.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Lulu Brenda Harris, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Communication Studies with a thesis entitled Transition in Context and Context of Transition, an investigation of journalism practices in post-coup Zimbabwe, prepared under the supervision of Prof. N. Mboti and the co-supervision of Prof. G. Muchatebe and Dr. V. Sathya. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
This groundbreaking study investigated the state of journalism in Zimbabwe following the 2017 coup that ousted Robert Mugabe from power. Ms. Harris' study constitutes one of the first systematic researches to map how and if the practice of journalism in Zimbabwe changed in the post-Mugabe Second Republic. The double prism through which the state of post-coup journalism in Zimbabwe was analyzed and assessed are Section 61 and Section 62 of the Zimbabwean Constitution, specifying the right of freedom of expression and freedom of the media, and the right of access to information. The candidate framed her analysis by means of an innovative methodology that she calls timelining, whereby a journalist curates and diarizes events in a coding frame. The study found that contemporary patterns of state media relations fit a typology that reaches back to 1999. The state of journalism in Zimbabwe today is best described as change without change.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Communication Studies on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Communication Studies on Lulu Brenda Harris. Congratulations, Dr. Harris.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Themba Mandlenkosi Matingiza, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in African Languages, with a thesis entitled The Portrayal of Queer People in Selected isiZulu Literary Works, prepared under the supervision of Dr. I.K. Mdawe. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
Matingiza's thesis stands as a pioneering contribution to African literary and queer studies. By interrogating the representation of queer identities in isiZulu text, he bridges a critical gap in scholarship, challenging the pervasive myth that queerness is alien to African cultures. Employing a qualitative framework informed by queer theory and intersectional analysis, the study examines 4 literary works, revealing a narrative evolution from heteronormative reinforcement to nuanced, progressive portrayals. Matingiza's work not only decolonizes queer scholarship, but also illuminates the complex interplay of culture, identity, and resistance within indigenous context. The thesis highlights the transformative power of literature in reshaping societal attitudes and advocating for inclusivity amidst South Africans' legal progress and lingering cultural conservatism. The research exemplifies academic excellence, offering a vital foundation for future discourse on African queer narratives. Matingiza's dedication to amplify marginalized voices marks a significant stride towards cultural equity and scholarly innovation. I must also mention that 4 articles were identified from this study and 2 have already been published.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in African Languages on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in African Languages on Themba Mandlenkosi Matingiza. Congratulations, Dr. Matingiza.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Lerato Pamela Mahwai, who has complied with all the requirements of the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Development Studies, with a thesis entitled Resilience of Rural Black South African Adolescents, an Afrocentric Cultural Perspective, prepared under the supervision of Prof. E. Ross. I will now read out an abstract of the study.
Chancellor, I read the abstract on behalf of Professor Ross. Adolescents globally face challenges such as poverty, violence, and geopolitical tensions that threaten their psychosocial well-being. However, resilience, shaped by cultural and contextual factors, enables some adolescents to adapt and thrive. This study explored resilience amongst Black adolescents in rural Limpopo, South Africa, focusing on the Vavenda, Vatsonga, and Balobedu cultural groups. Using an exploratory qualitative design rooted in constructivist grounded theory, data were collected through semi-structured focus group interviews with 38 participants aged 12 to 17 years and 8 community advisory panel members. Findings revealed that these adolescents face adversities, including poverty, parental loss, harmful school environments, and cultural challenges. They demonstrated resilience through personal agency, community support, and a blend of traditional and modern coping strategies. A significant contribution of the study is the development of an Afrocentric cultural model of resilience that offers valuable insights for enhancing psychosocial support and informing policies for vulnerable adolescents.
Thank you, Professor Lauren Graham, for standing in. Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Development Studies on this candidate.
I've made them very helpful. By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Development Studies on Lerato Pamela Mahwai. Congratulations, Dr. Mahwai. Congratulations.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Nduduzo Njabulo Mapumulo, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in African Languages with a thesis entitled Indlela Kamba Magama Ayiteketiso Embonini Yamatekisi Kubukwa Ngokwe Hermeneutics, the satirical way of bestowing names in the taxi industry, a hermeneutical approach. Prepared under the supervision of Prof. B.E. Zungu, I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
The taxi industry in South Africa is a multi-billion-dollar rent sector that plays a vital role in transporting millions of commuters daily, particularly those from lower economic backgrounds. The study is deeply affected by the taxi wars because of the intense competition and the disputes over routes and ranking facilities. They are always perceived negatively by commuters because many buses are often involved in accidents due to reckless driving, overloading, and poor vehicle maintenance. In this thesis, Mr. Mapumulo has done an ethnographic research in the taxi industry so he can understand their way of life, or ezibayeni in the kraals, taxi ranks, to gain first-hand experience on how taxi owners, rank marshals, and taxi drivers relate to one another through perusing their anthropogenic patterns. The communal way of life is deeply entrenched in their psyche. Mr. Mapumulo uses contemporary onomastic theories to frame his study and to analyze the data collected.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in African Languages on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in African Languages on Duduzo Njabulo Mapumulo. Congratulations, Dr. Mapumulo.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Masereti Dineo Hyacinth Muragabi, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics with a thesis entitled Teachers and Students' Perceptions of the Efficacy of English Language Teaching and Learning in Lesotho, a case study of 3 secondary schools in Maseru District, prepared under the supervision of Prof. R. Sibanda and the co-supervision of Prof. J. Chikasha. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
The study explored teachers' and students' perceptions of English language teaching and learning efficacy at 3 secondary schools in Maseru District, Lesotho. The findings suggest gaps in English language teaching. They show challenges, including a lack of teaching resources, low learner English proficiency, and class participation. Additionally, the teachers' practices are inconsistent with the expectations of the Lesotho General Certificate of Secondary Education curriculum and do not align with the learner-centered pedagogy the curriculum advocates. The study concludes that effective English learning and teaching are essential for the learner's academic and future success. The study suggests need to address the concerns about poor teaching practices and teacher training, limited government support in providing learning and teaching resources, and upskilling teachers.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics on Masereti Dineo Hyacinth Muragabi. Congratulations, Dr. Muragabi.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Tabisile Nonkululeko Mphahlele, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics with a thesis entitled Multilingualism and Translanguaging in Black Pentecostal Charismatic Church Sunday Schools, prepared under the supervision of Prof. R. Sibanda and the co-supervision of Prof. K.M. Framup and Prof. J. Chikasha. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
The study explored multilingualism and translanguaging within the Black Pentecostal Charismatic Church Sunday schools in the Soweto and Ekurhuleni townships from the perspective of Sunday school teachers, learners, and parents. The findings reveal that multilingualism and translanguaging are important tools, not only for learning Christian themes, but also for helping participants perform social functions like establishing rapport and exchanging respect for others. However, the study also highlights the continuous dominance of English in the Black PCC and that multilingual language resources are needed in both the classroom and home. Additionally, the study illuminates the important role of parents in providing language support for their children. The study, therefore, provides new information on language use in Black Pentecostal churches and adds to the body of literature on multilingualism, translanguaging, and language use in the Pentecostal churches of Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni in particular.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics on Thabisile Nonkululeko Mphahlele. Congratulations, Dr. Mphahlele.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Todani Nodoba, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Journalism with a thesis entitled Media and Democracy, analyzing the role of the SABC Radio News in the 2021 South African local government elections, prepared under the supervision of Prof. S.H. Chiumbu. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
Chancellor, the study examines how the SABC public radios covered the 2021 local government elections, focusing on 5 stations: Ukozi FM, Lesedi FM, Tobela FM, Palapala FM, and SA FM. Using the Habermasian public sphere and social responsibility theories, the study analyzes the platforms provided for stakeholders, information dissemination program structures, and adherence to editorial policy. Findings reveal that while the SABC radio stations offered a platform for political parties and citizens, resource limitations hindered some African language stations from covering all perspectives equally. News disparities existed between African language stations and SFM, which is the English station, with English content dominating most of the news. Service delivery, a crucial election issue, lacked dedicated programming on radio, although it was covered on TV and digital platforms. The study highlights newsroom convergence impact on radio and the importance of ethical leadership in maintaining journalistic integrity. However, ethical leadership alone cannot resolve issues of funding, resource allocation, and the marginalization of African languages in news reporting.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Journalism on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Journalism on Todani Nodoba. Congratulations, Dr. Nodoba.
The graduates of spoken. Let's give them another one. Graduates, I'm going and going, graduates. Sure. I'm that and take it, Sanamare. 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 That and take it, yeah, but that and take it, Sanamare. That and take it, Sanamare. That and take it,
Wow. Now, this is how we celebrated this great University of Johannesburg. We just want to go and go and go. I tell you. And you know, the reason why we celebrate so much, it's because it is such a special privilege to be a graduate of this great university. And that is the reason why we celebrate. Now, when the Vice Chancellor gave her speech at the beginning of this ceremony, she came up with an African proverb, and I thought, I do not want to be outdone by the Vice Chancellor, so I'm going to come with an African proverb of my own. So there is an African proverb that goes, it takes a village to raise a child. Now, of course, these are not children. I mean, doctors here and masters and BAs, but I would like our graduates to stand up and thank their family members, loved ones, friends, and everyone who has made it possible for them to be here this morning graduating. If you can just stand up and just say, clap your hands and say thank you. Thank you very much. You may be seated. I'm not done with my requests. I have another one, a request also. You know, graduations are moments of celebration, but also they are moments of saying goodbye. You'll be surprised that some of the people that we have been studying with all of these years here at UJ, that actually you may be seeing them for the last time this morning. Not because they are going to die, of course not, but that is just how the cookie crumbles. I mean, you meet some of these people for the last time at your graduation ceremony. So I want to make a request. And as I do so, please be nice. You never know. Just look at the person sitting next to you, shake his or her hand and say good luck. And be nice, please, because it might just be the president of South Africa, or the CEO or a partner. And you know, it might just be your life partner. You do not want one Saturday morning you wake up and your partner is angry at you. Like, what is going on with this one? And then somebody says, you remember that day when you shook my hand, the way you looked at me. You do not want that in your life. I mean, thank you very much. And so as we close today's graduation ceremony, I know what a privilege it is to address you in this functionary role of Chancellor. It has been a wonderful experience to witness our students graduate and also to celebrate your achievements with you and your loved ones who are here this morning, and some of whom are also at home. As it has already been stated, this was not an easy journey for you, but you did it, and that is the reason why we are celebrating with you this morning. You are here today because of your commitment and your hard work, but also because of the support of the people who have kept you going, and that is the reason why I requested you to stand up and thank them. Your family, your friends, your loved ones, and your community as a whole have contributed to the success that we are celebrating here today. Now, to graduate is a decisive milestone that sets one on a trajectory of empowerment. I must also emphasize what the Vice-Chancellor said this morning, that this is indeed an impressive achievement. But the grim truth is that many in our population are not afforded the opportunities that we have been afforded here at UJ. In fact, a 2021 report by the Department of Higher Education and Training indicates that just only 6% of the South African population holds a university degree. Let's really think about that. Only 6% of the South African population holds a university degree. In our vast population, many do not even make it into high school, let alone to matric, while less than 70% of the students who obtain a matric exemption enroll at a university. Just at the University of Johannesburg, just for this year alone, we received more than 700,000 applications for only about 10,900 spaces for new students. Think about it, over 700,000 applications for less than 11,000 new spaces. And of course, we received so many applications because we're a great university. But also, and I'll tell you why, just wait, I'll tell you why I say we are a great university. But also a similar picture exists for all South African universities. They receive thousands and thousands of applications for few spaces. So although we are living through uncertain times and witnessing the world around us changing, we know that we have prepared you to navigate this terrain, and that we have laid a solid foundation upon which to build your future. We hope that you'll use the knowledge that you have acquired here to contribute to solving societal problems and to pay it forward. Remember that there are thousands and millions of kids who like to sit where you are sitting today. Please do pay it forward. When we consider what this university has achieved in only 20 years as a higher education institution, in a sense, really a new kid on the block, we know that you as graduates, we are quite proud to graduate from this university. And I don't know how many of you graduated at some other place across the road. Our noisy neighbors. Now, UJ is ranked #1 university in South Africa and the #1 university in the African continent. Now this is a secret between us now. What I'm about to say, don't repeat it. Now, of course, we have achieved all of this in 20 years. Sometimes I do wonder, what our noisy neighbors have been up to. They've been around for more than 100 years. You know, I thought they were good in sport. Up until I got told the rugby team got relegated, I'm like, oh, well. But you know, God bless them. God bless them. Don't repeat that. Their Vice Chancellor is a friend of mine. I still do want to be invited to the lovely dinners that he hosts at home. But the fact of the matter is that UJ is number one. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. But we love them. We love them. Now, we look forward to seeing you grow professionally, intellectually, ethically. And I must stop at ethically. Because there is nothing worse than an educated graduate who steals public resources. There is nothing worse than an educated graduate from the University of Johannesburg. We do not want to read in a newspaper that you have taken that which doesn't belong to you. That is not what we do here at UJ. And so we look forward to seeing you grow professionally, intellectually, ethically, and as committed and respected global citizens. Know that the world is much greater than this university. It's bigger. But great as we are, it is bigger than South Africa, it is bigger than the African continent. We believe that the education that we have been provided here at UJ is good enough to make you to be a respected global citizen. Go out there, this world belongs to you. We have now a degree from the University of Johannesburg. Now there is a group of people that we forget when we celebrate these achievements. It's likely our academic and support staff. So I wish to thank all of our academic staff, some of them are here this morning, and also the support staff for the role they have played in your journey. Without their perseverance and commitment, we know you would not be here. I mean, as somebody who teaches myself, I know sometimes when assignments have to be submitted or tests written or exams, that all novel diseases get mentioned. Some people just faint just right at the moment when they are supposed to submit an exam. So if we can just give our academics and support staff a round of applause for the wonderful work. Thank you very much. Thank you, colleagues, and some of whom were also supervising our beautiful doctors who are sitting there. So once again, congratulations on this tremendous achievement. Go out there and set an example as a graduate of this inspiring university. Be our best ambassadors and spread the word that UJ is an excellent place of learning. And please do remind our noisy neighbors that we are ranked #1. Don't let them forget it. Tell them all the time that UJ is ranked #1, not only in South Africa, but also in the African continent. Yes, tell them, and that we produce more research than they do, actually. You may as well add that. So remember to stay in touch by joining our alumni. We hope to see you again when furthering your studies and as active alumni. I thank you. Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, may I request you to stand up as we sing the national anthem. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to an end of this wonderful ceremony. I would like to thank our visitors, all of you here, for coming to this great university. We do not take your presence for granted. Please do come again. UJ does a lot of wonderful things. Now we are invited. I'm extending the invitation. And then to our graduates there, I know many of you will be celebrating today. Please do so responsibly, please. Now, by virtue of the powers vested in me, I now dissolve this congregation of the University of Johannesburg. Thank you very much.
Ulindlela emamkhophozi, ewunyana wami, elele uyahlala